Hey. Let's get it.
Yo.
This is podcast numero 3 for TechNV. We have our boy Axel as a special guest, Blake, Devin, Chris, Garrett, and myself, Shay. Let's get into it. Awkward.
Yeah, I like that though.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta just punch in sometimes,
Yeah.
you know? What's going on, guys?
Oh, nothing. Had to ride the bike today.
Yeah, Garrett pulled up like a G today.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that motorcycle out in a minute.
Yeah, I was like, it was staring at me. I was like,
I didn't even think it still ran. I was like, dang. It just
she
became
runs.
like a trophy piece.
I turn it on every once in a while just to get the juices going.
just to feel some emotion.
God damn it.
I think I fell off a bike once.
You fell off a bike?
Yeah.
A motorcycle?
Yeah.
What? Like
So
a dirt bike?
Yeah. No, it was a regular bike. I was still learning.
Oh, was it like a street bike or like a?
No, regular bike.
I
I was trying my
like,
best, and I was like, I'm gonna learn this, and I fell super hard, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna just stick to gaming.
There you go.
I gave up.
Man, what about you, Devin? What did you guys do today? I know your boy Chris is here.
We just we just went to downtown, grabbed some coffee, and now we're here. That's it. That's basically all we did. Just
Devin's
chill.
all about the coffee, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, tell me about it, man. Every time we hang out, this bro's like, dude, let's go hit up Starbucks. let's go hit this underground.
Do you guys get the
coffee
hot
place.
or like iced coffee?
Today since we're out, we got like cold lattes, iced lattes. But if we're like
say it's
staying
been
indoors, it's hot. Yeah.
I think summer is iced coffee, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then the winter is hot.
I don't know. Some like indoor cafes are pretty cold, so I have to get it like a hot latte. But if I know I'm going out, I have to get that iced.
Oh, yeah.
It's like different.
You just can't let it melt, bro.
Exactly.
I'm just like a straight up espresso, bro. Like every morning, just boom. Yeah, espresso with rice. That's it.
Can't do espresso. Freaks me out.
Bro, I
The
could
jitters.
Freaks me
I
out.
go crazy sometimes, bro. I'll do like three shots.
That's too much.
Bro,
One shot,
You
I'm
get a
over.
heart attack.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, that's why this shit's been beating so fast.
Yeah, if I'm gonna game, I need caffeine. Like
Yeah.
like before, if I have no caffeine, my reaction time is like so slow. I need that like shake. Like I need my body shaking.
Bro, speaking of reaction time on gaming, today's podcast is going to be really revolved around introducing Blake, because Blake is a huge member of the TechNV staff and community. He built every single PC that we have inside the studio, which is awesome. And then we're going to be talking about Axel, a.k.a. MFA. He's the #1 Smash Bro player out here, ultimate Smash Bro player out here in Reno.
That's me.
Which is crazy.
Are you coming tomorrow? Tomorrow's supposed to
I'm
be
going tomorrow.
Bro, you
the
should see
big
the
one tomorrow.
Discord, bro.
Yeah.
All I see is you going like, all right, who's playing? Let me see the bracket. What's going on?
Yeah, that's all we talk about. We'll like, even on Fridays, like next week, it's gonna go crazy, you know?
Yeah.
All we talk about is the game.
Can you give us some like details? Because we host the Smash community here in Reno at TechNV. But can you give us like a little background of like what the community is like based in, like what it's about pretty much? Because I feel like it's not like your normal gaming community. Like I see in the Discord, you guys are like a really close knit like group. So I think that if you can just like go into detail about like, you know.
Well, I used to talk about this all the time. I think Reno is probably the closest community you can get when it comes to, you know, video games, especially the Smash community. I feel like every competitor that comes in and out that door, we're like, I can call them my friend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because, you know, we play with all of them. We talk to all of them. We go to each other's houses. So.
And it's not just Tuesdays and Thursdays, which you guys come here to TechNV, but it's like watching the Discord. It's like, yo, you guys are doing like night tournaments, and then obviously you were streaming here the other day, and people like your boys are cheering you on. So I know you travel a ton, bro. For, like, you know, all these tournaments. Can you talk about like traveling and all that?
Well, traveling is a different thing. I try to get all my boys to get out there because I know that Reno's good, right? Yeah. But traveling for me, you know, I got a sponsor. My friend Blake, he sponsored me. Right? He started his own esports company.
Yep.
Every month, you know, I try to head out wherever's a big event. I try to head it, you know.
Shout out Blake.
Shout out Blake. Big shout outs to Blake.
And is that all covered, all the travel fees? Or is it
Not
just,
all
like,
covered, but there's a lot of help that I didn't have before, you know. And like, you know how Smash, there's no money in it, you know. There's very little sponsors. So anything I get, it really helps out. It really helps me get to those
What's
big
your
events.
most recent tournament? Was that I just took you to your house the other day, and you were like, I was in San Jose. I was in
Yeah.
You were in Oregon. Did you go to Oregon too?
I'm going to Oregon
Going to Oregon.
soon. Less than 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna be going there, and I did go to San Jose, and I didn't do too good.
L.A.
I went to LA twice for a tournament.
That's awesome. And then Salt Lake, or is it?
I did go to Salt Lake
See,
City.
bro, I
You
know
remember
more
for me? Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that's what
right.
I'm
I went to
saying, bro. I
Utah.
listen.
It's just like when I do bad in the tournament, I'm like, okay, that's in the past. Let's forget about it. I'm gonna work towards the next one, right? So like whenever I do it good, like in the tournament, I'll like, oh yeah, I did good in Oregon. 3 months ago, I got 9th place out of like, I don't know, 700 people, and that's like crazy.
700.
Yeah.
I have
How long
never
were those?
done anything like that, but Garrett
Yeah.
can speak because going back to Battle of the Bands, like Garrett was
Oh,
in
yeah.
a group, so he has the competitive like music side of it, so he
Yeah.
can relate on that.
There's like
do you feel
brackets.
like you obviously see the tournaments here, Garrett? Like, do you feel like the same energy is involved? Like when you see like him win, like when you won Battle of the Bands, do you feel like you can understand that energy?
Battle of the Bands is more like it's not as like when it's not competitive as in like everybody's right there like cheering it's not like a
Yeah.
battle or
Oh,
anything.
no one's
Like,
cheering
it's
you
called-
on,
it's-
actually.
Well, it's music, so it's like people watch it and then it's kind of like just like a hidden like I killed it kind of deal to other
Yeah.
bands, or like other bands see it and they're just like shit. Now we gotta like bring our shit.
'Cause
And it's not like people like watch you and it's like then you're talking shit. It's not a lot of shit talking, but it's just more just kind
Like
of
I
Like
killed it.
that guy killed it. I killed it.
Exactly. It's
like,
more of like just
yeah.
like a silent kind of deal where it's like you could kind of tell the guys that are going to make it to the next round,
Right.
versus like actually winning, and then all the
Yeah.
winners are kind of like they're named at the end. So it's like every stage, I guess you can say, is kind of like you're waiting to see like who goes on. So it's like it's not kind of like, oh, I won that round, okay, I'm good. It's like
Yeah.
everybody's like tense because they do their thing, and then you wait till the end,
Right.
and then so it's completely different. But then it's on the competitive side, I guess it's kind of
There's just the only thing that you relates is just the competitive
Yeah,
nature. of
right,
it.
competition.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of competition
But-
too. Yeah.
Yeah, because like over here, as soon as like
It gets
somebody gets
rowdy,
knocks
bro.
out,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, they're freaking out, right? Like I'm pretty sure like with those bands things, you got to get the judges. It
Oh,
takes-
yeah.
Maybe it takes like a day or something, or maybe like
Right,
an hour.
and then it's
Oh,
a
that's
lot.
true. It's not
a
just
lot
like
of
a
the-
one-on-one.
yeah,
Like
Yeah, it's not like
everybody
a
just
vote,
it's like
watched
voting.
it.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like everybody just does their thing, and then the winner is just named at the end. And then also, it's kind of like it's kind of hard to explain. It's like the bands when they see someone really good and they're first, bands will start getting nervous because they're like,
Yeah.
okay.
That guy killed it.
Yeah, and then they know they're set. They know what they're about to put out, so it's kind of like, okay, what are they going to do a little extra to kind of compete with what they just saw? And then also vice versa.
Do you have a backup song just in case? Like, like he played
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
that-
We always had like backup songs. Well, especially because encores are always usually if you're good, people want an encore, and you got to be ready for that. You can't just
Like,
be
shit, that's the only song I know.
yeah, that
Let's play it
was
again.
like- You can't be like that was our whole set. It's like no, we usually had like 2 or 3 songs on the back end in case people wanted to keep playing. Because there was a couple of times like our set should have been done, but the crowd is be like one more time, one more or something, and we had to have
Bro, I'm
something.
tired.
Yeah,
Fingers
exactly. Yeah, and then like
That's
where
how
you
I
are.
am watching him play back then. I was like, bro, come on. I'm fucking tired. I want to go to bed.
I would have been rocking out.
No, it is fun,
Yeah.
but you're like drunk and you're just like kind of like,
Dang,
okay,
it's
bro,
3 in the
it's
morning.
1:30.
Oh, 1:30.
And with the Battle of the Bands, sometimes you had a time spot where you would think, but it always ran later. And like there was times where we were like one of the last bands. And when you're there early and you're watching bands all night, and then sometimes you're drinking too, and then all of a sudden you're the last band expecting
Garrett
to go
starts
on.
slurring at the last part.
Yeah, well, because I know there was a couple times we were told we were going to go on around like midnight, but then it got stretched out to like 2, and then so we were just exhausted. And by the time we went on, we were just like, oh man,
I
all
can
right.
attest.
I think like it's the same thing here too. Like in the beginning of the night and on Thursday here, like everybody's freaking out. As soon as it's me versus the grand finals, everybody's doing their own
Yeah,
thing. They're all
yeah, 'cause they
playing.
know
They're
you're
all
gonna
over
win.
it. Yeah, it's nothing special, right? But they just want like the new stuff, right? What's there in front of them.
But we were talking the other day when we were driving about like the community adding new players and like new people joining the community. Do you
Yeah.
feel like that's super important? Like that there's more people coming in, or are you kind of like I like the people that I'm kind of playing? with?
Absolutely not. I'm always, willing to include people. You know, the more people, the better, just in every aspect. You know,
More competition,
More
new competition.
new competition. You know, new friends, new whatever, right? New audience, whatever.
And you want the community, I'm sure, to like grow and all that.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. Like, I remember I told you about Jeebus, right?
Yep.
He came in. He's our newest player, right? He's killing it right now. He got third place at the last tournament.
Mhm.
Like, it's actually insane how fast you can get good at a game if you're just always playing it
Yeah.
and you're always hanging out with people that are good. You know, you just learn stuff quickly.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
that a lot of these players are watching you travel and watching what you're doing in the sport. I call it a sport now, like I was telling you the other day, because esports, right? Like that's why we're all here, because it's competitive, and that's what we were talking about earlier. But just watching you travel, watching you be great at obviously this game, you kind of bring that energy into, you know, any environment that you're coming into. Because like I know on Thursdays when they're like, "Oh, Axel's here, he's probably gonna win."
Yeah,
That's like a pretty cool feeling to have.
I think so. Sometimes I don't. When you guys used to have like the Tuesday ones, I wouldn't show up because I know it's like less pie and like everything. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna let somebody else take the glory, right? But I think it is a pretty good feeling to just be like, yeah, I might win tonight. But the last couple of tournaments, I haven't been winning, so it's like like I like seeing Reno get better than me. You
Yeah,
know,
and
'cause
you're bringing that from traveling, because you're bringing that competitive nature from seeing other players and other skill sets, and then bringing it back here. So everyone in the community of Reno is really lucky to have that ability to, you know, be around someone like you.
I used to tell everyone. Well, NorCal was telling me that when Reno used to come back at the old game, like the top 10 ranked players, the power ranked players back then, they used to drop like flies. They used to get eliminated right away, right? And like nowadays, like I brought Jeebus, I brought Bronze Dragon, I brought a whole bunch of our Reno people, right? You know, top 10, they all made top 8.
It's crazy.
Dang.
Out of 40 people, yeah. And I'm like, dude, the skill ceiling is up here for this game.
And you're
like
saying
even
that
if you
like San Jose has a really good community.
they do. It's huge over there too. I think LA, even San Jose has a huge one. LA is a huge one. New York, like those are like the places you gotta be at.
Oh yeah.
If you want to improve.
He
And
said there was 150 people like on the regular that show up to these in San Jose
yeah,
Oh wow.
Dang.
yeah.
at a bar, right?
At a bar, just they drink there, play Smash.
Well, we're trying to get Fernando. He was talking about trying to get one where we get
Regional,
like
a big
a
one.
90 to 100 person
Yeah.
one here. Yeah,
It's possible.
Yeah,
It's possible.
Yeah,
it'd be great. If we
but they're
could do
doing like every week. Every
NorCal
week.
people are coming on Thursday, right?
They are. There's gonna be more than 30 people on Thursday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's gonna
Love to
be a
hear it.
lot.
Dang. Outside of Reno, like what's like been like your favorite like tournament experience like outside of Reno? Like what city?
I like I think my tournament experience, there's a difference between like the city and the tournament experience.
yeah.
But my favorite tournament experience is just like if you're just playing Smash and you're not really a competitor, you should go to there's a tournament called Genesis, and it's in San Jose. It's beautiful. It's at a huge venue. There's hotels attached to it. You can walk wherever. You know, there's boba shops open till 4 in the morning. There's food open till like late at night. It's super nice. You can walk anywhere, and then you can go to that same place, that same bar. You can go to there once the tournament's over, hang out there. There's setups there. It's wonderful. It's a place.
That's just the spot then.
It's the spot. And then the other one I'm going to in August, I went last year. It was awesome because it's called Super Smash Con, and it's basically a convention center, but they hold a tournament there, right?
Oh wow.
So not only do they just have a whole bunch of like vendors and people and like music and like a huge stage, it's also like it's always ran on time. Like there's a lot of setups where everyone can play at, and it's beautiful.
How'd you get noticed? Like what tournament did that for you?
Noticed, I feel like I was really on and off in this game. I used to get noticed a little bit when I was online during quarantine, and like I'd beat like a top 50, top 100 player maybe once or twice, but like I didn't get really noticed until SmashCon last year, where I beat a top 5 player in the world. His name was Mars, and everybody was like, "Who the heck is this guy? Like, what the heck?" And I started beating everyone else, and I had such a good run over there.
What character did you use?
I used Olimar, and it was a Cinderella run for me because people didn't really know who I was. I was super underseeded, and like I just started beating like all like top players from across the world, and I beat that guy, and I was like, "Holy shoot, I'm still in!" And I just kept going because, like I told you, SmashCon's probably one of the biggest tournaments ever, like ever. It's the top 2, and like I couldn't believe I did that good. I ended up getting like 33rd out of 3,000.
I couldn't even imagine that feeling like of beating someone that's ranked top 5 in the world.
It gives you chills.
I'd be like, bro, I'm good. I'm going home. Like, that's it for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got that feeling. I need to keep this energy. I'm going back to Reno and smashing on everyone.
I could tell that, like, after the game after, I said I didn't play somebody as good as him. Like, it was just a little bit ranked lower, and I started playing worse because I was still jittery from, like, beating the other guy. Yeah. And I was like, oh, shoot. But I ended up beating him, and then I lost to another guy game 5, and I was like, that was a really good run. Like, and, like, I must have gotten, like, 500 to 1,000 followers from that run. And then I did another good run in Vegas where they invited me to an invitational, and I was, like, almost dead to last seed, and I made it out of, like, the last chance qualifier and made it into like the actual invitational. And then that's where I think I beat 2 people and then I got out, but it was a Cinderella run there too because I wasn't supposed to make it into the invitational. Like these are like top 15 players from around the world. Like the top 15 players. It's not even from the top 15 players. I wasn't supposed to make it in. Wow. Obviously I got smoked by like most of them, right? Like I didn't really beat most of them, but you know, I took 2 games and I was like, dude, I might be good at this game.
So do you ever like get like a lot of or see a lot of people that are kind of just like, there's no way I'm gonna beat these guys, and then they just don't enter, or they're just kind of like, you know, I have a chance, and they just kind of.
You know, I used to feel like that all the time. But now, like, I'll lose to, like, the best player in the world. I get pissed.
Really?
Yeah. I'll be like, I could be that guy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have lost that. I know what I did wrong.
So I'm
Like
sure
your
there's other
ego's up
people.
there.
My ego's, I think it's more confidence. I think it's ego, too. But I'm like, dude,
Confidence, right?
no way I lost to that guy. Is he really that good? Because I could have beat him. And then I'm just like, next time I play him, I'm just like brainstorming. I'm like, okay, I'm going to beat him next time.
Yeah,
bro, and I watch you like when you're in here and there's another like game going on or like another set, and you're like looking at people's like what do you call it, like what they're doing, like their setup and like what like their strategy is.
Yeah.
And then I guess you're prepping, right? Because just in case you have to play them, you want to be like, see, that's crazy because not everyone probably does that.
And I feel bad too because I'm more of a spectator than a player. I love spectating the game. I feel like it's more fun and I learn more. If I'm playing, goofing around, I feel like I'm not learning that much. But
so have you ever thought of like not giving lessons per se, but like just watching other tournaments and like do you give like people hints and kind of stuff like that? Like, hey, do you try?
I have done lessons. I've already done 3 already.
Really?
So yeah, from just Reno residents alone, I'm just like, hey, if you guys want to help me out, you know, I'm willing to give out some lessons.
Because ever since having you guys in, me and him are talking like, how else can we draw people into the Smash thing? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that come here and then they see you as like, okay, well, I'm just gonna watch these guys.
Yeah.
I'll just watch this guy. I'd rather
Yeah, like I'm sure a lot of them just want to pay and just want to play just to have fun, but then they're just like not expecting a chance in the world, but just to have fun and stuff. But it's like, because I was actually thinking that, like, you know, like if these top guys are always coming in, should we have like a lower level, which I think you guys already do. You guys do
The redemption bracket.
redemptions and stuff like that. But even like below that, just having
like a novice,
just like a beginner to novice league, where it's just like, you know, you're not no one can sandbag and then you know, just destroy people.
I gotcha. I think what those are called is like a lot of regions, they have those are called Arcadians. And it's basically every top 10 player is banned or every ranked player is banned, and then everybody else has to duke it out. And those usually get like from 50 to 100 people. Because there's just a lot of new players, and like, you know,
because like what you're saying, like if you see someone like him in the bracket, you're like, man, I'm not gonna probably win.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially people that just started, that just kind of want to start getting
Like, hang out.
Yeah, or like just start getting into it,
Yeah.
and then they're just like, yeah, I mean, I don't have a chance, but maybe in this league I can, maybe have some kind of chance.
Exactly.
I think the best way, well, the reason why most people stay or like newer people stay is because, you know, I kind of give them that, like, hey, you got potential, you got to play. Like with Jeebus and like with Bed OG or like Locke or all these like newer players, right? I just kind of tell them like, hey, you got potential, and you know, that's all they really need.
Right.
Because they'll be like, you know what, I could probably beat you. Give me like a couple months.
Right.
100%.
Right.
And then like spinning it back in like business, like since you've had that run, like have you been trying to like monetize off of that? Like have you been trying to like start your own brand? I know we were kind of talking about it a little bit the other day, but like what have you been doing since?
I think I started doing my Instagram more about Smash. I wanted to be a little more mysterious, but I couldn't do it. I made it more about Smash. I started posting my Smash stuff on there. And you know, my Twitter, I'm always posting my top 8s or whenever I do good. I need to start, you know, I'm going to start streaming here. I need to really get on that. And I feel like, you know, TikTok, maybe YouTube, I need to start getting on that. But for right now, it's just Twitter, Instagram. You know, whenever I do something good, I just want to get myself out there a little more.
Right. Be like in the public eye.
Yeah. I feel like Twitter's like the biggest one for Smash. I feel like YouTube and like TikTok are like a little more on the side. Twitch is a big one for Smash. But, you know, that's why I'm trying to, you know, focus on Twitter, focus on Smash. Instagram's a little big on Smash, but not too much.
And that's really cool. Like what you keep on saying is like about the community. Like Reno's a really big spot for, like a spot on the map for Smash.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make it seem like you're only playing people that aren't that good.
Yeah.
Right? So it makes it seem like there's competition actually out here, and you're actually grinding and you're getting better, and you know there's people out here that are competitive as opposed to you living in some whatever city or town and it's like you're the only one that plays, okay, and then you're playing online, you know.
Yeah. I think what I'm planning to do is just to have like Reno as like a super team.
Yep.
I feel like I can just get them all good, and every Thursday I just feel them, like I see them like get better, learning new things, learning things that I know, and I'm like I feel like they should know, and I'm like okay, they're getting good.
Right.
Yep. Even Fernando's really good.
Fernando is good, and
he's a trip to me. I'm like, dude, how do you have so much time for the photography, all the other stuff you're doing? And then he brings his dog here sometimes when he's picking up the stuff. I'm like, and do you have a dog? Like, you know? And he's the TO. Being a TO is gnarly, bro. Like,
oh yeah, a lot of keep up, like just
Lot of
texting
keep
everyone, you know, just because we did the food thing too. So like he's been dealing with that, like getting names.
yeah,
and,
sign-ups, making sure people want to
getting-
come in, because without a certain amount of players, then it's not even worth it, like you said, on a Tuesday, because the pot's so small.
yeah.
So it's kind of like a lot of these players, like Sonny lives super far, and there's another guy that lives in Incline. I forgot his name.
Plato.
Yeah, he lives far. Someone lives, Minden, Incline. Then we've had people, like you said, coming from SAC that drive home the same night.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this really brings the people out.
There's people coming from 5 hours away tomorrow. So
The dedication, man.
yeah, no, they know that Reno's a place, like you said, like they don't, you know, Reno's becoming a place where it's like, dang, this is a good place to like play, you know. There's a lot of competition here, and like I really want to see how Reno does against them, because I think there's like 5 of them coming up,
And they're pretty good.
and they're all good. They're all ranked.
Wow.
They're all ranked in NorCal as like a region, not as, you know, in sub-regions like NorCal. So
It's not like, are we like Northern Nevada?
we're Northern Nevada, we're Reno. Honestly, we're not even, we're just Reno.
That's it.
It's sick.
That's it.
Yeah,
There's
whenever-
no Fernley. There's no like Elko. It's just Reno.
Yeah, when we had like on Twitter, there's like you know what an upset is, right?
Yeah.
Like an upset thread. We had a Reyna beat 2 ranked players, like 2 ranked 20th, like top 20 in SoCal. He beat one of them, and he beat another guy ranked in Oregon, right? And so on the thread it says Reno, and it doesn't say anything else. Like everything else says like the state or something. Ours just says Reno, and I think it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because we're like the underdogs.
We
We're
are.
like that big little city, right?
Yeah, and I remember like at a major, like I was rooting for Reno. I was like, let's go Reno. And like he was like, where's the guy from? And I was like, oh, he's from Reno. He's like, oh, Reno is good. You don't sleep on Reno. I was like, I know, man. Like it's fun that we're getting that recognition, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I want to give Blake a little spotlight really quick, and I want him to talk about the PCs really quick, because I think that's super important, because we get a lot of people that come in here that always compliment the PCs. So you want to speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, so give us your background and all that.
So there's not too much, but my background basically just consists of like growing up, I watched a lot of YouTube. There was a big like time in my life where all I was doing was watching YouTube like every night, you know. Like I lived in a small town for a little while. All I could do at night was watch YouTube. So I'd watch like all these like creators, Linus Tech Tips, you know, like etc. And just learn how to build computers, because I couldn't afford it, but I really wanted one. So I would just watch YouTube, and I just learned through that. And the first time I built a computer, like I'd never done it before. I'd only just watch YouTube, you know, and I just sent it, and it worked out. and then people, you know, like kept asking me, oh, can you build me a computer? Can you do this? Can you do that? Whatever. And I was always just like naturally good with technology, you know.
Did you ever go through any like trial and error? Like I'm sure like first going into anything, you're gonna make mistakes. So like, was there any like major mistakes you made where you're just like a learning experience and you know and so on?
Honestly, major mistakes, I can't say No.
Just a perfectionist.
No, like,
He's like, none of your guys, none of
no,
your
like,
guys' stuff.
I honestly can't say I've had a major mistake, which is funny because like you would think that I would have, but like I really
for how
haven't.
small the pieces are. Like, man,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't use like tweezers to get some of those chords in. Yeah.
Dude, sometimes, I don't know, but I got the tweezers right here. You know? but yeah, no, I mean, I grew up gaming. Ever since I was like 4 or 5, I'd play with my older brothers. I'm the youngest, and we started on the Xbox. That's when I really got into gaming, at least. Like I started on I played the GameCube and PS1 and 2. Like, I played on some older consoles, but I really got into it with the Xbox 360. Like that was my shit. Xbox 360, and I started playing COD, MW2. And then I'd say I really got into gaming like when BO2 came out. That was a huge game for me.
Classic.
Yeah, classic for sure. Yeah. Got into all that, and then I started watching even more gaming, more tech related stuff on YouTube. And like I said, I couldn't afford any of it. Like I grew up pretty poor, so like I couldn't afford any of it. But eventually, once I turned like 16, 17, I started working. I built my own computer. And then I was like, okay, like this is pretty cool. And people just started hitting me up like, can you do this? Can you do that? And that's kind of how I got introduced to all this. Was I was working at a different place down the street from here, doing something unrelated to technology. But Shay came in, and I'd known him before, and he's like, yeah, I'm starting up this place, TechNV. Like, I got to find someone to build the computers. And I was like, that's me. So that's kind of how this came about. But yeah, that's really my background. There's not too much, nothing really crazy. I just watched a lot of YouTube, a lot of content. So
Everything's on YouTube
So
now.
Blake was pretty much with us before we even got this place. So he was here kind of seeing how this whole thing, like before, I mean, he was here when this place was before we even had it, and like all the walls were white. So like he was able to kind of see like what we were doing. So when we were building this, and when we first like went up to you, were you kind of just like, I don't know if it's gonna work, or like what was your thoughts when we first went up to you? Like, hey, we're building these supercomputers, and we think we can rent them out, or just rent the spaces out and try to just build this cool little spot. What was in your head?
Honestly, I was completely supportive of it, of the whole idea from the beginning, because I was like, okay, like I'm really into niche things. Reno, I lived in LA recently. I've moved around a lot. I've been in a lot of cities, and like I love Reno, but it's just so small and like behind, you know what I mean? So I thought it was really cool that you guys were trying to do something that isn't in Reno,
Right.
Because there's too many people here that don't want to like branch out because they think it won't work. But I thought this was a really, really good thing for Reno, and I was like, I just honestly completely in favor of it, because being someone who games and someone who I'm just into technology in general, I was like, this is super cool. I think Reno needs this, and if you don't take a risk, then you're probably not going to succeed. So
Right. That's kind of where we were at.
Yeah.
We were just like, I think we can, like, our whole thing was there was nothing in Reno that was like this for kids. I mean, even moving out here, me and him were like, this is a retirement society.
No,
It's
100%. Like
just all a bunch of old people just like that want to move out here,
Yeah.
get away from the LA or the big cities,
Yeah, definitely. We can all three of us can speak on it, because you guys lived in LA most of your lives, but just living down there the last like almost 2 years, it's just like a culture shock coming back here, and like I was just saying, there's just nothing here, in LA you can go out, do something at 3, 4 in the morning. I was just having this talk with one of my boys, because sometimes we're like up 2, 3 in the morning, we're like, dude, what do we do? Like, there's nothing to do in Reno, Yeah, exactly. You go to In-N-Out. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So I mean, not that.
Island just closed.
Yeah, and it's like it's just weird, because in LA you can go out and do something at any time of the day, any time of the night, So
I was about to say that before this place, the Smash community had we had a struggle trying to find a place to like do our tournaments, right? We were jumping from like weird places like Round 1 where they didn't really want us there. We were going to UNR where they also didn't really want us there, right? We had a lot of rules to oblige. We're like, dude, where are we gonna go? And then like somebody was like, hey, check this place out. It was TechNV, and I was like, this place is pretty gnarly. And like you guys were like supportive right away. You guys weren't like trying to kick us out. Like it felt.
Mainly like Fernando's vibe too.
Yeah.
I think it's like mainly like Fernando's vibe too, because when he had first came in, Fernando was just very straight up on what you guys are looking for, because I think that you guys have moved around so much that like you guys were at UNR, you guys were at round 1, you guys Atlantis a little bit of a run.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of traveling to find like a home, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's like you guys can know that you guys can come up like on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and we're all in support of whatever you guys are trying to do. Like we communicate with Fernando on a regular basis on what's going on in the community, and like I'm tapped into the Discord, so I kind of see and I can gauge like where you guys are kind of at, which I like, because I want to support you guys and whatever you guys are trying to do as well. Same thing with Garrett, like we're just here for you guys, and that's kind of like the vision for other games as well, like with COD and all that other stuff. We're trying to build a community, and we're kind of using Smash as like the template, because we're trying to like make other people TOs now after seeing like how Fernando runs it.
Yeah.
We're trying to find a FIFA TO. We're trying to find a Warzone TO, a CDL TO, people that like love and that are passionate about like that game, or not even just the game, the environment that it brings, bro.
Yeah.
Because I think that like when you guys come in, like sometimes it'll be super dead, and then boom, 6 o'clock hits, it's just right away. The energy's just
everybody's
flowing, and
yelling.
everyone's yelling, everyone's just like supportive of each other. And I think that's super important, because you wouldn't want to come and play, or even like as dominant as you are sometimes, it's like it wouldn't be fun if like that community wasn't there, because you could come in and then run through everyone, and then be like, well, that was cool, and then you feel bad. But it's like people like to play you. Like there's some close runs, like Jeebus, like bro, like he'll come, Jeebus will be like, dude, I almost had him. And that's awesome, dude. That's like so cool to see.
I feel like everybody always has that, oh, I almost had a moment. No
'cause
matter how.
everyone's good, like you said. It
yeah.
goes back to it's not just because you're so dominant for like no reason. Obviously, you put the grind in. Like I've talked to Uriel, and he's like, man, me and my cousin used to just play all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're consistently playing, like same thing with Garrett playing the guitar. If you don't practice and you don't play every single day, then how are you supposed to be good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all consistency.
I feel like this is the Smash community is perfect for me, because not only are we practicing every Thursday, it's like we're also having a blast. I feel like everyone we talk to each other, we bring each other into conversations, and it's like, you know what, this is not just practice. This is not just like us getting better. This is also us having fun.
No, definitely.
And I feel like we need that environment more. Because I was also saying the venue before those was like a boba shop, and we had to be quiet. And I feel like the owner was really chill, but like the workers there, I could tell like they were getting a little frustrated, like, oh my god, these guys are so loud, or
Crazy. It's just a video game.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Why are they screaming right there?
Yeah.
Who won? Who cares?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I could definitely see like if it was just going back to like what Garrett said and like what Blake was talking about, like this wasn't here before. So you go into a coffee shop, bro, people are trying to be quiet and like trying to chill with their like one-on-one kind of attention. So you guys going in there playing a video game, going all crazy, even at Coffee and Comics, I'm sure, bro. It's like
we've been there before. We've been there
not
before.
dissing Coffee and Comics, I'd definitely love to have them on the Potter. You know, but it's like I think that that's not what they're
looking for.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
looking
and we
for
respect it.
Yeah, you have to respect it exactly. Yeah. So like going back into like the Smash situation, what's the biggest tournament you've ever been to?
So it'd be SmashCon, the one where I got 33rd. Yeah, I think biggest like attendance wise and like player wise, where everyone was there. It was SmashCon, and I was like, I'm surprised it did so good.
And it's every year?
It's every year. It's gonna be this August in Washington D.C., and I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try to
Are there other people that come in the community that are going as well?
Yeah, this time I went by myself. Last time I was the only player, and I had another Reno player there, right? And I was super nervous because like, shoot, dude, everyone's here. Like everyone good is here, and I was not expecting to do good, right? And I just broke that curse. Like, I went by myself and I went crazy. I think every tournament where I've gone by myself, I've played it out of my mind.
Wow.
And those are the ones where I'm the most nervous because I don't have friends. I don't have like anyone to hang out with after or anything.
Right.
But I feel like that could also help because you don't have someone there, or not just someone, but like you don't have a crowd or a presence there that's gonna like make you feel too nervous. Where it's like, man, I hope I didn't just make these people travel all this way just to watch me lose.
I feel like I'm less nervous with people. Like if I have a Reno
your
community
boys?
or my boys, I feel like I feel a little less, you know. But I feel like playing on your toes is also good, right? So I'm just kind of stuck in between there.
Focused.
Yeah.
But you said you like to be like low key and under the like a sleeper. That's what we call a sleeper. Bro.
Yeah.
Like being like a sleeper where no one knows who you are and like what your skill set is, and then you come in and you just shock the world. Like you shock everybody.
That might be it. I just, you know, everybody's against me a lot of the time. I have crowds against me. A lot of the time I have crowds with me whenever I cover Reno, right?
Yeah.
But against me, I never really have. And like those tournaments where I won by myself, those are the 2 tournaments I did so good. I went crazy. I shut every crowd up.
Do you ever trash talk in these tournaments? Like, how's good your trash talk?
My trash talk, it depends if Reno is playing.
Okay.
If Reno is playing, if another Reno is playing,
You got, like, your boys by your-
we're yelling, we're heckling. You know, we're
You
doing.
can't just be by yourself. Bro.
No,
There's no
no,
backup
no.
out here.
We'll be like, dang, he doesn't know how to, recover.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to get back on stage. And they'll freak out. They'll freak out, and we'll after. There's a funny story. I've been pressed twice because of it. Like where they're like, hey, like, what's your problem? Why are you talking that? You're
Dang.
trash. And I'm like, chill.
Like,
Bro, the other day when
Spin
those
under your
sack guys
skin.
came, the other day when the sack guys came, Yuri was like, "You drove all this way just to lose."
oh my! I heard that in the background. I was like, dang.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
drove all this way just to lose, bro, man.
feel
Hope gas is cheap tonight.
Because like
crazy.
coming
shout out
from
Yuri, bro.
like
Yuri's the man.
a basketball like point of view, because I used to play a lot of basketball, I learned that like trash talk like isn't like negative in any sort of like, it's part of like the game, like the competitive
Michael
spirit.
Jordan, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And
Trying to
like
get in someone's head and see how weak they are.
exactly, and especially
That's
like
wrong.
with gaming, like it's
McGregor.
mostly like a mentality game. Like you have to have like good mental to play like competitive games. And like trash talk is a part of that. Like in basketball, you can trash talk all you want on the court, but after you can be boys, like say like good game and stuff.
No, 100%.
I think the funniest thing too is because when Sack comes over here, they're like, "Yeah, I go to Reno to practice like the crowds because you guys trash talk so good," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's us." Like you got. I feel like it's smart to build an endurance to that.
Yeah.
You know,
Is there like a specific like experience like that trash talking went like a little bit too far?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was telling you. I was a major upset. I was rooting for my boy Double D. I don't know if you remember Double D. He used to be he retired, but he used to be our number 2, and he was playing a player from Oregon, and I was like, let's go. He doesn't know what to do. Like he's freaking out.
lost.
Yeah, he's lost. And I'm like, I'm saying, I'm not cheering. I'm not going, let's go Double D. I'm being mean, right? And he gets outside and he's like, what's your problem? Like, screw you and your yee ass haircut. And I'm like, oh my. He's like, what's up? And I'm like, chill. I'm like, it's just a game, relax. But yeah, no, he was trying to, escalate it, and I was just like, relax, man. After he lost. But,
Right. Well, if he won, it would be different.
Yeah, for sure. And like, especially with gaming, like growing up gaming and stuff, even with my brothers, friends online or whatever, if you get in someone's head, like if you're just in their head rent free, it's over, bro.
The performance goes
No,
down.
100%, bro.
It's a real
100%.
thing. It's a real
Yeah.
thing to get in your own head, get angry, see them
Yeah.
get angry. It's like they're playing like bad, like doo-doo water.
You
It's
lose
like,
confidence. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like
Oh,
anything.
Lord.
So once you start losing confidence in yourself, all of a
It's-
sudden,
No, yeah, for sure.
so,
Yeah.
like I see it.
Yeah, like sometimes even like public games, just randos, bro. Like people just be talking, and I'm like, fuck. Like it's gotten to me a couple times, and I just start shitting the bed after that. Like,
Yeah,
people
no,
get in
that's
my head.
exactly what happens.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes the trash talk gets a little too crazy for me. Like it's not even about the game at that point. It's like I just start going personal, man. It's like we could be playing some type of game, and I'll be like, "That's why your haircut's trash."
That's what you did to me. You're the guy.
Yeah.
I literally was talking everything, like all the trash we could with like the game, inside the game. You started coming for me. I was like, damn.
It turns personal, man. It just
gets,
turns
like,
personal.
when you're pissed, man, you never know.
I'm
what
gonna DDoS you, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
No, seriously, yeah. People get personal. And it's like, I don't know. There's also some people though that I've like talked the most shit to, and then after they add me, I'm like, yo, what's good? And they're like, all right, let's run it. Like,
Bro, like trash talk, like what is it, builds like the greatest bond sometimes.
It does, low
yeah,
key.
no, for sure.
And yeah, the same guy that was trying to press me, trying to run some stuff. I talked to him in L.A. the last time I went. He was like, "Hey, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Hey man," he's like, "Let's run some games, let's money match." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right."
Sometimes the biggest haters actually just like you. Like
Yeah,
they
they hate for a reason, man, because
Yeah.
they see what you're capable of.
shout out the haters.
Shout out the haters.
It's like turned like I think today's gaming like trash talk like you said like it gets like way too personal and stuff like people go after you. Like I remember like back in BO2, like if you see like a prestige master in the lobby, you want to be friends with them like for sure. But it's like different
Add
today.
me, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because sometimes like you see they're better. Like sometimes I don't think I hate, but I'll be like, dang, he kind of whooped me. I can't wait to.
Yeah.
I used to take it personal when they used to reject my like friend requests. Like,
Oh,
I'm not good enough to play with you anymore, bro. Like we're playing public, you know. I was, dude, it sucks. Bro, imagine hitting reject on someone. Like, bro, that guy sucks. I never want to see that guy.
that would hurt my feelings too.
bro, the worst is when you're shit talking someone in a pub and they're like, all right, bet, join up after this. You 1v1 them and you just shit the bed. Like, we've all had that moment. We've all had that
Oh
moment.
my god! Then they leave the lobby on purpose.
Yeah, they just dip and you're like, fuck.
I think when I was bad, I had a lot of those moments where I'm like, you know what, let's money match, and I'll money match them, and I'll lose, and I'll be like, damn, this hurts. Like,
Dude.
this hurts.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, that's painful.
It's a painful experience to talk shit and then lose.
If you talk shit, you have to like be strong enough to take it. I feel like all like shit talkers, like they have that capability, like to like take it.
I think it's funny too, cause I'll be bluffing sometimes against cause I've talked to like the top 10 players before, and like the way I bond is like, oh, you're kind of a masher. You don't really know what you're doing. Like, I'll figure it out. And like they laugh, that's me bluffing for sure. They kick my ass, but I feel like. It's a good bonding experience sometimes.
For sure.
Bro, like most recently I went to LA on Monday and I was golfing and my friend wanted to play for money. And this is like my second or third time playing for money. I am not that good at golf to play for money like that. But two, it's kind of like, well, there's I guess a handicap thing where you can make it competitive and all that stuff. But I think that it takes away on the fun side sometimes when you're playing for money, but on the other side I hear people that are like, man, it just makes it more fun because you have something to like,
there's an incentive.
Incentive, I don't have that personally, but I see that like all of you guys playing because you guys are here playing for money, when do you get to that point where it's like, this is no longer just a game, this is like life?
This is life. What do you mean by that?
So like, okay, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like obviously you're super dedicated to Smash, right?
Yeah.
And then like we were talking about earlier, you can monetize off of this. You
Yeah.
know? But for the other people that are not in that same situation where they're like, number one, they're going to all these tournaments and they're like trying to get ranked and trying to make money.
Right.
Like, why do you think they play for money? Besides, because not always the pot's that big.
It's never, and it's top 3 payout too, so you got to be up there.
Don't you think that there's sometimes guys that don't ever make any money and they just put in to play?
Yeah,
I guess that's what I'm trying to ask, because on some of the other esports that we have here, like games or tournaments that we have, there's some tournaments that people are just like, well, I don't want to put up money. So I'm kind of like, is there a mixed like kind of situation where it's like people don't understand like the tournament where it's like playing for money versus playing for fun?
I mean, playing for fun is just friendlies, right?
Just friendlies,
it's just, but like playing for money is like there's incentive for everyone. There's like, ooh, there's a real thrill, right?
Right.
There's a tournament. Makes it real.
But you feel like I guess what I'm trying to ask is, you feel like it makes it that much more fun for you, right?
Oh yeah, I think I won't enter. If it was a free bracket, I will not enter it. There's no
Well, it's
point.
kind of like poker. It's like
Yeah.
people, if you're
Right.
paying to play poker, you're gonna play, and if you're not paying, you're just gonna go all in every hand.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
who
that's
cares?
a really good comparison.
yeah.
Like, because people still do play friendly poker, and I'm just kind of like, wait, what's
Why?
the point?
Why? Yeah. Because at that point, you don't care what you're what you're betting. But yeah, if you're playing for money, all of a sudden you're like,
We gotta be smart.
And that's
Yeah.
why I'm trying to bring that up in this, because I think a lot of people watching this, when they kind of look at like us posting we're having a tournament, they're not understanding because they probably never played in a tournament. And going back to it, like putting up the $20 for like COD, some people were like, well, I just want to, like, can I just come play a friendly? Like, no, I don't only want to just say no to you because as a business, we want the money, but also too, I'm trying to bring that competitive nature that going back to like what Blake was saying. This hasn't been like a situation out here before where you can come and put something on the line to get the incentive, and then you're gonna see a different crowd of people. The energy, like you said, the reason why everyone's shouting. If that was a friendly, bro, they'd be like,
yeah, nobody's watching that.
Yeah, no one's
Everybody's
watching
like,
that.
Well, you
But
should
the
respond.
upset, bro, it's like, give me my money, and then the little side betting, bro, like.
Because realistically, since the window for the cash top 3 is very, very tight, you know, that's why when like there's an upset that's happening or a player that's in the lower level is happening and like they're beating someone who's a little better, it makes it that much more hype because it's like, oh shoot, you can make it. Oh shoot,
Well, someone asking that is kind of just like asking a casino, can I just play the machines?
Yeah,
put money
like
in.
I don't want to put money on it.
Well, no. So sometimes
whole
that's
point
what
of that.
that's how they get you though. So as a degenerate gambler, sometimes I love like when some of my boys are like, yo, because they run like some of these like backdoor like like online sporting wagers and stuff like that. They're like, we'll give you free play, like where they give you like let's just say $500 credit, but they know once you touch that $500 and you go through it, you're gonna keep going, because that gambling nature, it's not just gambling in a bad way, but it's like, man, this is kind of fun when there's something to risk, a risk and a reward, I feel like, right?
Oh, the free drinks too. That's the whole point.
And
of
the free drinks.
It's
Yeah,
like,
come
hey,
and
you
get some
just
free
keep,
drinks.
you want another Jack? Keep throwing that money in that machine.
Exactly. Can you go in detail really quick about like character selection?
Oh,
That's
there's
something
80,
I want to know.
80
too.
characters. All right.
80.
The 2 best characters are Steve and Kazuya. We have none of those here.
Wow.
We don't got any practice. I lost to a Kazuya. He's the best character in the game. I lost to him in San Jose. Apparently, it was like he's a 2-2er. He's like not that good. And I was like, oh shoot. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have any practice against him. I haven't. And
What was the other character you say?
Steve
The
from Minecraft.
what is it? When I was in Seattle a couple weeks ago, they brought their Switches, and then like characters like 80 characters. I didn't know. I was like, oh, Minecraft. But as I started playing him, I was like, wow, these moves are like I can just put them in the cart and
They're
shit.
broken. He's broken. I'm pretty sure if my grandma picked up Steve, she'd go crazy, dude. He's broken.
That's crazy.
Another question about character selection. Like when you're playing certain people, do you think deeper into who you play? So like for instance, like some people are really good with some characters, right? Do you think maybe a different character type would be better to fight him?
Yeah, so I picked up Falcon, and originally I played him for like just for funsies because I liked him better than Olimar. Because Olimar is like a camper character. He's like staying back, run away, throw your shit. Like it's super boring for me. And Falcon is the complete opposite. He's always going in and kicking ass.
Pikachu's good too, right?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. So the thing is, Falcon also loses the same characters that Olimar loses to. He only has like maybe 2 or 3 where he wins and where Olimar loses, and that's like the hard part. I feel like I need to like pick up a character that completely like covers all of Olimar's bad matchups, and that's something that I haven't worked on.
Have you played in like a tournament like in this Smash community with every single character before?
I've played every single character before.
Wow.
And I'm good with every single character. And
That's
I
good.
think I could win a tournament with every single character of the top 10 is in there.
Wow.
Yeah. Like any character, I'll figure it out.
That's crazy.
Have you ever like ran into like a guy that you're like, I'm gonna smoke this guy, but all of a sudden out of nowhere he's just like
Sleeper.
a child prodigy, and you're just like, what the hell? How
I think-
was this guy?
I've ran into that mentality so much, and I hate it because in LA, I beat this guy. I was 3-0 over him, and like he's from NorCal, and he's like top 5 there. But I beat him 3 times, and I was like, this guy, like, this is a free bracket run. Like I can maybe this could be my tournament.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I just gotta focus on the guys further in the run, like not that guy. And that guy whooped me.
Really?
He whooped me. I was not ready for him. I just got destroyed, and I'm like, what is going on? Like I always kick his ass. And like I'm like, dude, you know what? That's why like it was a very humbling experience for me.
So was it just not your day that day, or was he just got that much
I think
better?
I was practicing and like I was watching videos for all the other people. I was so confident that I was gonna win against that guy. And I feel like that's where I messed up and where I have to take every player seriously.
So when you say like you watch like videos, like how much like how deep do you go into your homework between like these tournaments?
I used to just watch like a video while I'm like eating my lunch, just on YouTube, watch a video. But like I think nowadays I really want to take it more seriously and go to the next level since I'm already pretty close to it and pretty close to like the very top step. I just want I want to learn and take as much as I can get, brainstorm as much as I can get. So I've been writing stuff down, writing stuff on my notes, figuring out like what to do differently in certain scenarios. And I'm just like, I need to really get locked in,
Right.
Because this is my reaction times are only gonna get
Yeah,
right.
100%.
so.
So I noticed you guys don't have a massive female community. Do you know? Do you have like a? I mean, do you know kind of a? Is there a reason why, or is it just women are just not really into gaming? Because we had Fortnite the other day, and there was a couple of girls that signed up. So, but Smash Bros, I don't think I've seen any.
I think I don't know, because honestly, when I go to majors,
though.
there is a good ratio. I would expect it to be just like a whole bunch of guys, but it's a pretty good ratio when I'm at like at the at the big tournaments,
The big conventions.
and I'm like,
stuff.
okay, but like I feel like I think they can get good at the game. Don't get me wrong, but they also need like another incentive. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
for
I'm not saying they're just not good at it. I'm just saying I haven't seen. You don't.
Oh, no,
see it
yeah.
a
Like I
lot.
have posted something before, like about like, oh, come to the Smash tournament. We post like the link to sign up or whatever, and there have been like females that are like interested, but they just never come. I don't know if it's like
Yeah, I feel like they don't take that next step.
yeah.
I feel like they got just like anyone else. They just gotta like get that first step in. Like be with the community.
Well, like I get it
and,
too. Like if it's like a bunch of dudes and like one female tries to sign up, and then
Yeah,
I'm sure she's
they
super
need, like, a-
uncomfortable. But
yeah.
but if you like had brought like 4 or 5 friends, I was like, okay, we can like be
Yeah.
our little women's group, but still compete with the dudes. I feel like they could get in there, but I don't know. Like, do you think there's something holding them back or something?
I think I don't really have like an answer, but like in convention centers, they're always like they're cosplaying. There's also like all girl brackets too sometimes, and I must say like the ratio isn't that bad. It's like honestly 75-25.
But that also goes back to like the community. Like we were talking the other day. Like I just think that this community just kind of has like their set people right now, and that's what I know. I've talked to Fernando about like trying to get like he's very like supportive of like tell more people to come. Like let's get this thing going, because obviously the more people, the more fun.
Oh, and the bigger pot.
and the
Yeah,
bigger
the
pot
bigger
for me.
pot.
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, that's like our job. Like that's why Devin, he's pushing hard on a lot of this content, because the better the content that we can capture and like we can promote, then I feel like the audience would just expand, right? Like I feel like we're gonna get a lot more people, a lot of newer players coming in like within the next few weeks, because now we're starting to boost and like run campaigns on social. And like the big thing, like one of my projects like for like our business is like building the Discord up. And it's just like really hard, because I start looking at other Discords and communities and stuff, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. They do it like this, then they do it like that, and then I just like go back to like square one. I'm like, because it's really hard, because you're trying to build a community, and for us, we're in like a really niche situation where we're trying to not just have a Smash, we're trying to have like all these other, obviously games.
I think, well, that's the biggest thing. I think, well, when I first joined, this was a long time ago. I was like too nervous, but I was playing the game. I was too nervous to go to a tournament, right? I was freaking out all the time. I was like, I'm going to go to one. And like, just see if I was good or not.
How many years ago was that?
9. And I was freaking out. I was in middle school. And I was like, so when I first went, all I had to do was just have like a mediocre run.
Was that Melee?
It was a Smash 4. And I was like, all I did was beat like 2 people, and then I lost. But then I was like, wait, 2 people like that I'm better than? Like that was big on me. I thought I was bad at everything.
Were you here that day that we had a...
You guys had a lot of people one day. Like the first time you were here.
The first time was really big. We had like over 60 people. But like the other day, it was maybe like 2 weeks ago, we had another client and our customer named Brandon, and he brought his little, girlfriend's brother in, and they were here for Fortnite for the day after, but we didn't end up, no, we did do Fortnite, but he came just to check out the venue on Thursday, and he jumped in. Remember, we like got Fernando to like put him in. He put up the money for the pot and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then he didn't win any games, but he won some of the rounds. Like he won like 2 rounds, and then I think he played against Sonny.
Yeah.
And then that was like his first one because it was a round robin, so it might have been a Tuesday actually.
Yeah.
But Sonny's another sleeper too.
He is a sleeper.
But then he just got like the confidence because we asked him like, "Are you having fun?" He's like, "This is so fun.
Yeah.
Like this is so cool because jumping in the pool, right? Like you're getting your feet wet and you're just kind of like, man, this isn't as intimidating as it seemed like before. Like looking on the outside in, right?
Yeah.
I feel like confidence is like one of the biggest keys to like competitive gaming, because if you go into like a match, like I don't like my competitive spirit and like Valorant, if you go into a match and like see their ranks and like, dang, I'm gonna lose, like you already lost if you say that.
Yeah.
You know, like it's all about that confidence. Like once you get one round in, you can get more and more and more, and that's like, since gaming is just a mental game, you have to have that confidence in each match.
I think that was a big one for me when I first joined. I was just like, okay, I can win 2 games. I can probably win the whole thing. And that's all I needed. And I was just kept getting better. I was still losing right away. I wasn't winning. And then I was like, you know, I feel like that learning experience and getting better was just way better than like where I'm at right now.
100%.
You know?
Well, like what future plans do you have for yourself? Like to end us off with, like what's MFA going to be up to in the next, like, let's just say 3 months?
I think I'm going to still be going to tournaments. I'm going to try to get my big break, like the biggest break, you know. The closest I've gotten is 9th place, which is, you know, good, but I'm always trying to break that. And obviously I'm going to try to break that out of state. I'm going to start streaming here soon, you know. I want to get my name out there, you know, courtesy of a TechNV. And then, you know, keep building my brand up on Twitter, everything else, you know.
Where can people find you at?
They can find me at twitter.com. They can find me on It's MFA here. And then on Instagram, they can find me at MFAXELL.
There we go. There it is. Well, man, we're super excited, man. Like having you guys in, like I said, Garrett and I are very happy to like host you guys, and
we're trying to build it too. We're trying to get sponsors so we get more people in here, so they can get us some more stuff going. You know, monitors, whatever we need. We actually had a guy in here the other day that he works at Honda, and they sponsor something similar, like games and stuff. And he was trying to. We're going to try to work something out to get.
That'd be cool to
Honda
do a regional.
signs all out in here. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But
regional?
like, imagine a regional and having Honda just plastered everywhere, or Porsche.
That'd be dope. You could put it on the stream as well. You know?
Exactly.
Be cool.
But yeah, man. Right. Well, I appreciate you, Blake, for coming.
Yeah, Blake,
Axel.
you got any? Any? I don't know.
Any
contacts,
updates, man? Any contacts?
Instagram
any
that people could reach you at if they need their computer built?
I mean, if you need something built, if you're local, or you want me to ship you something, my Instagram is at Blake Ball, 2 L's, BLLAKE Ball. Yeah, hit me up. I don't know. That's all I got, really.
Cool.
And like we said, Blake does all of our builds here, and he's the man.
Yeah,
so
he's
definitely
been with us
reach out to
from
him.
day one.
Yeah,
so
reach out to us if you guys want him to build something. He has some stuff planned after this, actually. So that's going to be awesome. But let's sign off, guys. It was a pleasure, MFA. It was a pleasure,
Appreciate
Blake.
it, guys. It was a pleasure.
Chris, Devin.
Thanks for having me.
We're signing off,
talk,
baby.
guys.
Get it. That was a good one, guys. That was good. Fire. Always fire. We don't have no fire hydrants.
I like that.
No extinguishers. You just stay lit.